Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Bodybuilding Mountain. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the easy workout approach to training and how this could be a way that you might want to investigate just to see if this yields some sort of results for you. Now, something a lot of us have been trained into and also realized, like I've realized this from experience, is that intensity and pushing hard, or at least pushing the body hard, forces it to adapt to a certain point. Right? So say you're using a high level of weight, or you're going deep into failure and just burning out that muscle so strongly, there is a certain result that we know comes from this. But these two examples are a form of stimulation that is based on intensity of either weight or of effort, which again, I do feel is tried, tested, and true when it comes down to getting results. But there is something that I think some of you guys might want to look at from time to time. And this is the easy workout approach blended with a higher frequency. Now, what I mean by this is that if you notice that you're getting lots of aches and pains, or you're noticing that you just have plateaued so strongly, like you're hitting a wall every single time you go to lift heavy weights and you're never getting more reps, you're never seeming to get past a certain point, or you're having trouble developing a mind-muscle connection with the muscles, there is a technique that you might benefit from, and this is something I'm experimenting with right now, just for fun, right? Because in the end, you want to make your workouts as fun as possible. Therefore, it's easier for you to stick to it and easier for you to also make gains in the long run, right? So what this is that you go into the gym and you may train your whole body, right? Just a few sets for each body part, and you just go through the motions doing easier weights, such as something you could do easily 20, 30, 40 reps with, and you're only doing like sets of 10 or 15 reps with each exercise. So the goal is that you can recover in time for the next workout, which will be the next day. So what you're trying to do is just immerse your body into the tension. You're trying to say, hey, the body is going to have to revisit this tension every day, but we're not going to try to burn it out or put too much stress on the tendons or ligaments, right? So this is a great technique for you guys who have been lifting heavy and perhaps your joints need a bit of a break from the heavy lifting, but you want to maintain as much muscle mass as possible, or even put on some muscle mass, because there's something I want to talk to you about. There is the intensity stimulations that we talked about before, but there's also the accumulation stimulation, which means that over the long run, you accumulate a certain amount of stimulus in the body, which it starts to adapt to. So really, this is an environmental approach where you're saying every day you gotta lift a little bit, or you gotta push a little bit, but not so hard that you're not able to recover the next day. So for example, usually I squat 3 plates to 4 plates in my workouts regularly, right? But right now what I'm doing is I'm squatting 225 every day, just for around 10 to 15 reps, just going through the motions, just stimulating the body, making sure that I'm refining the groove, and first and foremost, making sure I don't have any joint pain and I'm not hitting absolute failure in my lifts. I'm just trying to stimulate and to create an environment where the body says this is just a normal part of life that I can adapt to every day. Now, this is a great way to enjoy your workouts, because you're going to notice that when you go in, you're not going to have this trepidation based on how much pain you're going to have to experience that day. And secondly, if you are getting joint pain from lifting heavy for a period of time, because the poundages are going to be so much lower, you're going to give the joints and the ligaments time to heal. So therefore, you're not going to have to deal with the aches and pains that might be destroying your motivation when you go in the gym right now. Like some guys I know, they train, and I mean, I've been through this as well, where sometimes your body says, hey, I just can't adapt anymore. You can lift the weight, but you're getting joint pain after, or a little bit of inflammation and stuff, because the body's just saying, hey, I need a rest, right? Or I need to do something different now to make sure that everything can heal, right? So once you start going to the gym and you don't have any aches and pains, and it's just kind of just going through the motions, just circulating the blood around, and you do this every day, you may notice that you start to rehabilitate the body in a certain way as well. And because you're constantly immersing it in a small amount of stimulation, you may end up getting more gains in the long run. And also you're able to experiment with your lifts, because we all know that when you're trying to do maximal lifts or heavy weights or trying to beat your record when it comes down to how many reps you got on your last set and stuff, what happens is that you start to refine your technique in order for the goal of getting more repetitions or the goal of lifting more weight. But if you're in the gym just playing with the weights, sometimes you'll notice you can get quite creative in your form as well. In some cases, you can flare the elbows when it comes down to bench pressing, because you're bench pressing 40% of what you normally bench, or 50%, right? So in that case, it's no longer a danger to lift like that, and you may get more stimulation. So this comes down to the fact that when you're lifting at high intensity levels, you do have to refine the range of motion and the groove to make sure that you avoid injuries. But once you're in the lower weights, once you're in really lower intensity type weights, you can afford to, let's just say, play around a little bit more creatively. And therefore, you may get more stimulation on some of those hard to get areas that you haven't been able to stimulate so far. So yeah, try this out. Try this in your training if you're noticing that you've kind of hit a wall with the heavy weights for now, or you're almost like burned out in some way, shape, or form. And if you try this for a period of 2 weeks to a month and then come back to your old way of training, you may end up blasting through a plateau or two. So anyway, that's what I'm experimenting with right now. I'm just doing that just for fun. And it's always great to make your workouts fun again, just enjoying the pump, enjoying the squeeze, enjoying everything. And I firmly believe that if you enjoy training, if you enjoy this whole process, you're going to get a lot more results in the long run. Mountain. So I hope this helped you in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. And thanks a lot to the patron supporters who support this channel and also get to tune into the Natural Bodybuilding podcast every week. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Mountain. Natural.